Hey, Christian, they are craftsmen. They are keeping history alive, but it also fits in nicely with the reduce, reuse, recycle that we hear so much about going green these days, because they're reducing the amount of new stuff going out there. They are reusing the old wood, and that means they're also recycling it. We've showed you what they can do with it. Now take a look at one of the barns before it gets to the workshop here.
We pretty much utilize just about everything that we can. I mean, even like the steel off the roof, we'll incorporate that into our cabinets and anything, flooring, whatever, you know.
I remember going into my grandparents' barn when I was a kid. There's just something about the smell, something about the feel. What do you feel when you come into a place like this?
Yeah, it's kind of like Christmas all over again, you know. Kind of start looking around, seeing what things we have, what we can do with them. And
what does it say about the craftsmanship of these things that were built over 100 years ago, that for the most part are still standing?
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for our forefathers. I mean, we've taken down a few buildings that we thought were not even barely safe to go into, you know. And so we take off a few things and start to pull it down, and it took us a long time to pull it down, you know.
What is it, do you think, as somebody who builds, what is it that they did differently than people do these days? Is it just the quality of materials first and foremost?
Yeah. Well, if you see like all the tenon work up there, that's something they don't do anymore today. And imagine these guys, when they built this building, the tools and stuff that they had, you know. Today's modern power tools, and
their main tools were right here, and anything you can swing with those two hands, right? I think this is neat because you can see each of these was a whack by hand, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you look at it, it's one length, you know. Imagine trying to get something that's fairly square and usable for a building product.
Does it give you a little twinge, like, oh, it's too bad something like this is coming down?
Well, no, as long as we got a purpose for it, you know. I mean, I hate to see, I've seen them where they come in with a crane, knock them down, throw it in a pile and burn it, you know. That makes me sick, because there's a lot of uses for this.
I guess if you... Well, you heard Dan there. He joins me now live. The guy who was getting rid of that barn when we were there about 10 days ago had to do it because it was too close to the road. Wasn't really a family heirloom, but do you have some people who come to you and they are kind of heartbroken because there's really nothing they can do? It's going to fall down. They have to do something with it, but it's been in their family for years?
Yeah, we do quite often. Most of the time they find out what we use it for, and they're pretty excited about it, giving it up.
And these things have lasted over 100 years. How long is the floor going to last, the pool table, the kitchen cabinets? I mean, anything that's ever happened to the wood has already happened. It's not going to start expanding now after 100 years out in the elements, right?
Correct. I'd like to say they'll get another 100 years out of it.
And you won't be around to find it, even if it doesn't last, right?
You got it.
If you want to find more about Heritage Antique Lumber, you can go to my Facebook page. I have a link on there. Here's one of my favorite parts, Christian. You find the old square nails in some of this wood. You do not want to be wearing flip-flops around here, but if you're a treasure hunter, this is kind of a job for you because you can find a lot of neat stuff.
That's pretty cool. Thanks a lot, Tim.